Our top story at 5, American history books are about to be rewritten, at least in Texas. The state school board has adopted new guidelines for history books. For example, the slave trade will now be referred to as the Atlantic Triangular Trade, capitalism, the free enterprise system. These are just a few examples, of course. Now, proponents say finally there will be no more of that pesky liberal bias, while critics say rewriting history is indoctrinating students. Now, over in Arizona, we've seen the immigration law divide the nation over whether or not this piece of legislation is immigration reform or racial profiling. And let's not forget about the state of Georgia. RT correspondent Lauren Lister traveled to Kennesaw, where she found yet another example of how America's divide runs deep.
Get your left hand as high as you can get.
Ready?
The bottom of the trigger guard right there.
Aim. Fire. The right to bear arms. The target of debate in the United States.
San Jacinto, no!
Just because you have an individual right does not mean that the state or local government can't constrain.
I don't think you can carry a gun in Chicago. And in my world, everybody on the bus could have a gun.
I like making liberals shoot guns. I just don't think we should be allowed to bring them home.
But travel more than 600 miles south. Follow the same well-worn tracks taken here during the Civil War, and you're transported to Kennesaw, Georgia. A world of these.
45 automatics.
Where Second Amendment rights are exercised.
All the time, every day.
Except for when?
Except whenever I bathe or go to bed.
It's a way of life.
In the South, a gun is just part of the household, just like a hammer is in the toolbox.
And in the town of Kennesaw, it's the law.
On May 1st, 1982, they passed that law requiring all heads of household to own a gun.
You heard him right. Everyone here must own a gun.
And it was in rebuttal to Moron Grove, Illinois. They call it Morton Grove, we call it Moron Grove.
Who passed a law banning firearms.
I don't think it was a law itself that got people in Kennesaw ticked off. It was the fawning coverage it received in what today we would call the mainstream press.
The battle with the mainstream doesn't end there. Issues in which
people in Kennesaw or through a lot of the South would have the exact opposite viewpoint.
Appear to reach much further back than the gun law.
My name is Dent Myers. The name of my store is Wildman Shop.
Here, past meets present. The taboo.
Original Klan uniform there, except for the top.
Ku Klux Klan.
Correct.
Is not.
Are people offended when they see this?
I don't know. I never ask them. Why would they be offended? It's just a prank.
The Confederate flag has a home not far from the American one and is praised.
It means that we had 4 years of destruction in this area here when we were trying to repel the invaders. It's a historical thing, and I have a very much respect and love for it. It doesn't have anything to do with racism, if that's what you mean.
The Civil War.
Here we have some buttons from that era, from the war between the states.
Wasn't civil.
It's not a civil war. A civil war is a war within one country. We had two countries, Confederate States of America and the United States of America.
And it's not over either.
Anything 1890 before with black powder, we deal in. No modern weaponry.
There's a lot of people here. I think the Civil War is still a current topic, not a historical topic.
In Kennesaw, the U.S. Civil War is never far away. In fact, there are 3 historic battlefields like this one within a 10-mile radius of the town. And in their modern-day battle for gun owners' rights, it also seems to be connected to this Southern history.
Well, I think Southerners view the last gasp of the citizenry against an oppressive government is to revolt.
Because we lost the war, so we get blamed for everything. A foreign invader is what it boiled down to.
Nazi Germany under Hitler, certainly Soviet Union under Stalin, first thing they do is take the guns away from everybody so that they can't revolt.
I could go into what the government has planned, but I won't, because it'll come soon enough.
So I think where some of the emotion comes from, it's not just that, you can shoot a rabbit with it during hunting season.
Hi, how are you?
As for the gun law itself, herself, not everyone here abides by it.
I'm not personally going to have a gun.
Oh, I've owned plenty of guns, but I don't quite have any right now.
But they do have opinions about it.
I think the gun law in Kennesaw is awesome.
You know, it keeps criminals out. I think that people, would rather go somewhere else where they know there's not a gun law.
Law enforcement says that may be true.
Our violent crime rate is extremely low. The property crime is still less than half the national average.
And for the small southern town, this may be their victory over the North. That 150 years after a civil war changed everything.
In the South, as a result of that war, their lifestyle was gone.
They stuck by their guns. Lauren Lister, RT, Kennesaw, Georgia.